I hate to say it, but you don't need 10 different rifles and 10 different calibers. The truth, there's only 3 that actually matter. And if you have all 3 of these, well, there's nothing in North America that you can't kill. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a bunch of different rifles and different calibers. I do it. And if anything, it gives me an excuse to buy more guns, which is never a bad thing. All I'm saying is if you really wanted to, you could break everything down into 3 main categories and cover all of your bases. So whether you're on a budget or maybe you're the kind of guy that likes to have 1 or 2 rifles that you practice with and are proficient with that will do pretty much everything, these are the guns I think I would pick. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and what you would pick for each category. Let's get into number 1. So first up we have the lightweight contender. Now this is just a lightweight, mild recoiling varmint / deer rifle for short to medium ranges. I have the Creedmoor out here today. This actually probably wouldn't be my pick for this category. I recently picked up a 243. I think that actually does a little bit better job in this category. But my pick personally would probably either be a 6 Creedmoor or 6 ARC. But the 6.5 Creedmoor can fill this role, and that's what I've got out here today. I wanted to check zero on this thing before I have my son shoot it this afternoon. But the basis of this category is something that you can hunt predators with or deer with. This is a great category to have if you have a wife, you have kids, something that they can shoot very comfortably. So let's send a few and check our zero. Let's go see what we got. So what would you pick for this category? Like I said, my choices probably be the 6 Creedmoor. I have a 243, which I think fills that gap pretty good. There's also options like the 22 250 or the 22 Creedmoor, but just something mild recoil, really light. Yeah, so I think this rifle is definitely sighted in. Not too bad. Let's go to the next one. Now the next category is probably the most important and where I suggest most guys start, and that is the all-around workhorse. This is a gun that can just do everything from coyotes up to deer, maybe even up to elk. Now there's a lot of great cartridges in this category. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the 270. I just put out a video last week on this rifle and this cartridge, and you guys blew it up. So thank you for that. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed. But I don't know if this would be my pick for this category, actually. Now, it is a great option. I'm not saying it isn't, but for me, I'd probably go for something like the 6.5 PRC or maybe the 280 Ackley. Other great options, I think, would include the 308 or even the 30-06. The most important thing here is just to have a rifle that can get the job done on any animal. And like I said, I really love the 270. It's a great option for this category, but for me, my picks, 6.5 PRC, 30-06, 280 Ackley, even the 308, I think all do a fantastic job at this because you can take them up to elk if you need to. And speaking of elk, you could probably guess what our last category is, and that is a big game hammer. This is going to be your go-to for shots on big animals, elk, moose, big bears, long range shots that are just going to put the hurt on anything that you're shooting at. And for me, I like the big 30 cals. Now my pick for this category would probably be the 300 Win Mag, but honestly, any 300 is gonna get the job done here. For example, today we're shooting a 300 Weatherby. This thing is crazy fast, but a 300 PRC, 300 Rum, 300 Win Mag. I've killed a lot of animals with 300 short mag. Any 300, I also think the 7 PRC or 7 mag could fit into this category as well. Maybe the 30-06, but I feel like that falls better into the all-arounder category than the big game hammer. Now the only downside to these bigger rifles is that in these lighter platforms, they can be a little harder to get to shoot accurately, get good groups with, and a little picky with ammo, but man, do they hit hard. Yeah, definitely not my best groups, but we're still trying to figure out what exact ammo this gun likes. There's group 1, where I was aiming, group 2, where I was aiming. But at the end of the day, like everything else on this channel, these are just my opinions. I think if you have a rifle in each of these 3 categories, you're covered from everything from prairie dogs up to grizzly bears and everything in between. But I want to hear from you. What caliber or cartridge would you choose for each of these 3 categories? Let me know down below in the comments. I really appreciate the support, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.